Hey everyone, how you doing today? We are on to topic number 2 with Matt from the East Coast. How you doing, buddy?
Good, doing great. Thanks, Mike.
Hey man, so what we're gonna do in topic number 2 is we're actually gonna cover a video I failed to get to in my busy week, and that is what are the 10 cities with the largest rent decreases, and then what are the cities with the highest rent increases in the last 12 months? So you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You know what? I'm gonna
I
let
don't
you.
mind guessing.
Yeah,
I know
let's.
you put me on the spot. I don't mind guessing.
Why don't you guess? And I'll tick them off. We'll go decreases first.
Okay.
And let's see what happens. Think big cities.
Yeah. So I would think San Francisco.
Yep. Number 1.
I would think New York.
Number 2.
I would think LA.
Not on the list because they probably divided LA up into lots of little pieces, but not on the list.
Oh, that's true. That's true. New Jersey stuff like Newark.
Number 10, Jersey City.
Yep. Okay. Chicago.
Number 9.
Detroit.
Not on the list.
Interesting. Those are the ones that come to mind immediately.
Okay. So number 3 is Seattle. So San Francisco. Okay. Yeah. San Francisco's number 1 at negative 27%. New York, negative 21. Seattle, negative 20. Boston, negative 19. Oakland, California, negative 15. Washington, D.C., negative 14. Arlington, Virginia, negative 14. San Jose, California, negative 13. Chicago, negative 12. Jersey City, negative 12.
Now, just to note, and I'm not trying to poke, but those are all anti-landlord cities.
They are.
All 10 of them are, without exception.
Yeah.
Just saying.
They're, yeah. Well, the other thing is they're also, I don't know all of them. Like I don't know Arlington, Virginia, for example, and I don't know Jersey City in full disclosure, but the others, they're all big vertical cities.
Yep.
Right. Another thing that's been very clear, right? Space is good. But the thing I really want to point out here, from San Francisco, negative 27 to Jersey City, negative 12. If you did a multifamily deal in any of those cities in the last 3 or 4 years, you are losing money.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're losing money. And oh, by the way, you're going to have a refi in the next 3, 5, or 7 years. You either better sell it or get ready for a huge equity raise because you're in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, there's that fund. I can't recall their name. Their fund that does stuff out in San Francisco, and they put out 150 eviction notices even against the moratorium.
Yeah,
I mean, think about that. Think about all the conversations that have to be happening with lawyers, officials, business stakeholders. All the conversations are taking place there where they're literally saying, "We believe we have a strong enough case to put 150 of these letters out there."
Yeah. The thing for me, right? Again, this is the beauty of you and I've been doing this for a couple of decades. If you were to rewind the clock 2 years and say, what are the safest cities to invest in?
It'd be that same list.
It'd be the same list, right? I want to go urban. I want to go vertical. I want to go dense population, right? I mean, and again, this is every crisis changes one of your rules. And this is the thing that I talked about a year ago was
that's right.
This pandemic will cause you to put into question things you thought couldn't be changed. New York City, the Mecca. You were the big dog if you owned something in New York. Yeah. Right now, you're losing 21% year on year with rent. How does that feel?
Oh, I watch the $1 Million Listing shows, especially New York, right? Because Ryan's from New Hampshire.
Yeah.
So
love that guy.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's true New Hampshireite through and through. Like that's how a lot of us are. But he's an awesome dude. And the funny, crazy thing about it is that how many times did you see, okay, we couldn't sell for 25 million. So let's get 80,000 a month for rent. Like
what?
What? And I have, kids that had gone to college here and went to UNH here. And then they moved to New York and, they have holes in the walls and they've said for them, it's been an opportunity for them to move up.
Yeah.
Because
one less roommate, maybe. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So they've used that as the opportunity to kind of move up the ladder. However, there's still something like 15,000 vacant apartments
Oh,
there now. I mean, ouch.
yeah. I mean, all this entire list is
Yeah.
it's gonna feel pain for years. There's really two things. First off, there's the big players, right? We are
Yep.
seeing tax auctions and whatnot already.
Mhm.
Like hedge funds are losing properties in New York City, right? Times Square, there are already buildings that they're like, nope, we're not going to pay our mezzanine loan. Take the building; it's not worth it. But
Right.
what I'm really nervous about is what I saw 2 years ago when I was talking to new people, and I do it all the time because I want to see where they're at because
Sure.
they're like lemmings to me, right? If I can figure out where they're all going, I'll go the other way.
Sure.
And so many of them were doing limited part. They were limited. They were just the equity on somebody else's dream. They didn't do any homework. They didn't vet the deal. They probably saw New York, San Francisco, Seattle, Boston, and went, "Yep, I can't lose money there."
Right.
Well, yes, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, even, it's sad because some people that, that's why the SEC, when they look at a lot of those deals, that's why they want seasoned investors, accredited investors.
Accredited, yeah.
When you open it for non-accredited investors, it's dangerous just because they could be making a bet with a very sizable percentage of their fortune or savings. And that makes that, pretty scary. But I mean, I was offered, a deal about a year and a half ago, and I was offered basically, 9 points on my money for a year. And it wasn't worth it to me because I can take that same money and put it into a deal and I can make, 15 or 20 points year one.
Yeah. Well, the deal that I keep trying to tell people is most people shouldn't be an LP. Most people become an LP because they don't want to do the work, right? You've heard we talk about all the time. Do the work, learn your market, get hyper focused. Yeah. Don't buy someone else's dream because you lack the work ethic or whatever it is. It only takes 10 or 20 minutes a day, but it does take day after day after day after day. So, all right. So again, folks, this article came out from the New York Times. Let's see what day it came out. February 4th. You want to go look at it. The title of the article from the New York Times is How the Pandemic Blew Up Rents. All right. So now the 10 cities with the largest rent increase. These cities, by the by, are much smaller. They're still decent sized cities, but they're not New York, right? So let's guess a few, see if you can get
them. Houston.
Nope.
Austin.
Nope.
Not Austin.
Nope.
Wow. Tampa.
Nope. Too big.
Dear God. San Antonio.
Nope.
Nothing in Texas is on that list.
There is not a single city in Texas.
Holy Toledo. That's crazy.
One more guess and we'll go.
Birmingham, Alabama.
Nope. All right, here we go.
That's awful.
Yeah. Congratulations, you got 0.
There's why I invest in New Hampshire, everybody. Right there.
Oh, this is hilarious. So number 1, Boise, Idaho.
Okay.
Right. That makes sense at 12%.
Yeah, that place is going to go boom soon, though. I mean, they've been on such a tear for so long. What I'm concerned about now is the guys getting on board now is that stuff is not going to season well over the next 3 to 5 years. Because, I mean, I get it. Everything in motion tends to stay in motion, but it's not the truth. Watch what that market is. Look what the appreciation was over the last 3 or 4 years and recognize that everything always finds its level eventually.
Yeah. And again, I talked about Boise a couple of times on the channel because it's kind of that outlier. And it was, I think this one was Marketplace rated Boise, Idaho, the most overvalued city.
Yeah.
What I would tell folks, again, I wrote about in the book is go figure out what the affordability index was for Boise, Idaho, the last 20 years. And I guarantee you are stretching affordability right now. And it's kind of like what Brian Lebo and I talk about Vegas. It's all that freaking California money coming in who doesn't have context of what Boeing should be or Boise should be.
Well, it's like figuring out a cap rate when the deal is all cash.
Yeah. It's like
okay, who's going to do that? There are people that will, but then is that a real cap rate?
Yeah. It's parking cash. Yeah. City number 2 is a city that I love.
Fresno.
Yes. Fresno, really? California at 11%.
All right. Good for you. Awesome. That's great, Mike. Congrats.
What I got to tell all those people that tell me I'm an idiot and I should go to Texas, 11%. 11. That's all I got to say. 11.
That's awesome. Good for you.
11. Let me just say that one more time. 11.
Double digits.
Yeah.
I love it.
In
Oh
a
my
year.
word.
And I have a few properties, so that's okay. Gilbert, Arizona.
Okay.
Number 3 at 8%. So now we're under double digits. I don't know that I've been to Gilbert. I don't think I've been.
I think that's just outside of.
Is that outside Phoenix? Scottsdale, maybe? I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe I can't recall.
we got an East Coast and a West Coast guy guessing. Wait, we don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Not our market.
No.
Chesapeake.
No, we have not done our homework there.
Yeah, Chesapeake, Virginia.
Okay, all right, that's interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting because again, Arlington, Virginia was on the other side, so I don't know where those cities are compared to each other.
Sure.
Bakersfield, California. Bakersfield's interesting because it's like 90 minutes south, or even more south from me, but it's much closer to LA.
Yeah. How far is that from LA? Like an hour?
No, it's like 2 hours.
2 hours? Okay.
Yeah, it'd be 2 hours. Yeah, up the Grapevine.
It's probably the place that people can get some land and get some
exactly.
space.
It's those, like the Bay Area. Some people are going to the Fresno, but LA, they'd go to Bakersfield. That's what would happen. Right. If you got to go to LA office once a week, you could live in Bakersfield.
Okay,
right?
Makes sense.
Albuquerque, New Mexico, 8%. Would not have guessed that in a million years.
Nope.
Greensboro, North Carolina. Wouldn't have guessed that in a million years.
I was actually looking in Greensboro. That was going to be one of my first out of states. I was looking at Greensboro and one of the small towns around there, High Point.
High Point. I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah. There's been some pretty strong growth. And I mean, a really nice house there is in the 3s.
Oh, there you go.
So it's really a lot of value there. And you're like, I think you're about a little over an hour to Raleigh.
Okay.
And you're a couple of hours, 2-3 hours to Charlotte.
Yeah. Glendale, Arizona, 7%. Okay. I think Arizona makes sense to me, right? All the population kind of makes it. Yep. This one shocked the hell out of me. Number 9, North Las Vegas, Nevada.
Now, I don't want to offend anybody, but isn't North Las Vegas like the lesser of the desirable parts of Vegas?
Yeah, I would say it's probably farthest from the Strip. Again, as a California investor who's clearly talking out his ass. Yes, I think that's true.
Because I think what's happening there is the rising tide lifting all boats, and there's the biggest opportunity in North Vegas for increase. Because I'm very new to the Vegas market. I'm more looking closer to the Strip, kind of the Summerlin, that area, Henderson, and Red Rock, those kind of areas. But I want to say there's also an Air Force base up there too.
There is, I think, yes.
Yeah. So I think that would make sense. There's probably just a rising tide lifting all boats, not having the better opportunity for growth.
Yeah. And we'll get to that in a minute. The last one is Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay. Yeah, Memphis, Tennessee.
At 7%. So again, a couple of my takeaways when I think about the who's losing and who's winning, the who's winning is suburbs that are, it's suburbs, but they're geographically close to a big city.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. It's small to, I mean, a lot of those cities are small cities. Like you hit the nail on the head. A lot of those are small cities.
Yeah. And then I think what you're also seeing is, this is what I've been talking about for 3 or 4 months, is these cities are getting hammered with population inflows. Mm-hmm. So they're absorbing all the new construction and all the existing. So they have very low months of supply for sale, which is causing people that would maybe normally buy there, because the prices go up, they have to rent and there's nothing available, right? Because the cities weren't planning for such huge the population growth in these cities are probably 5 or 6x what they normally plan for.
That's right.
And when that happens, and I've been telling people, prices go up first, rents follow.
Yes. And
we're seeing that. I mean, I'll say it one more time for the folks not listening. Fresno, 11%, just because I can.
Congratulations. That's awesome. Good for you.
Yeah, it's fun to say 11%. Yep,
it is. That was only one of 2 that were double digit, right?
Yeah, it was. The other one being Boise, which I think is an outlier because they just don't. Again, Fresno's 1 million people, right? Fresno County.
Yeah.
Right. Boise, I'm gonna guess, is not 1 million people.
I don't think so. No, and I mean, and Fresno itself is like 400,000, right?
Yeah, it's over 500,000 now. Yeah,
500,000 now.
Yeah. It's just a real city. So yeah, that's what I got for you. Any closing thoughts as we talk about the top 10 losers and winners?
That I wouldn't have gotten any on that winner list. As you're listing them off, I was like, I never would have guessed that. Like, that's ridiculous. But here's the thing, people, here's the opportunity though. People out there doing the work right now, what are they seeing? They're seeing places that have never, ever been on that list.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
That's the opportunity. Be doing your homework now, because the opportunity is coming in the next 30, 60, 90, 120 days where you will start to see some inflow of inventory, and
Amen.
you better know what you're looking at when you're looking at it.
Yeah, folks, you got to do the work. If you need help with it, buy the course below. I think you heard me say this on the Daily Financial News, but I saw this post in my Facebook group. I'm going to read it one more time. It says, just made my first offer on a house since starting the course. Rejected, declined, and I feel great. I don't think I would have had the confidence to put myself out there before. That's the deal, right? Right? Good or great offers. If you don't get the deal, move on.
Exactly. There's going to be another one. It wasn't the last house that's ever going to be sold that you're ever going to like. I promise.
Exactly. Yeah. And the last thing to say is anytime you are certain something can't change, i.e. New York and San Francisco will be the safest place to park money. Yeah. Something could come out of left field and kick that can over. So just be careful. All right, buddy. Thank you very much. I look forward to topic number 3.
Sounds good, Mike. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.